So anyways, Dust 2, very one-sided affair for Cloud9. They looked fantastic. DETONA, they looked like they were a little bit lost. The rounds they won were off back of like some really like clutches that you could not expect, like VSM, for instance, in a 1v3. And now going to Mirage. Obviously, it's a map that, you know, Brazil is really familiar with, but I don't know if coming back from something like that is possible for this lineup.
Yeah, it is their best map by a fairly big margin. The second's actually trained, so like if they can win this one, they've actually got a good opportunity. The problem is a lot of that is always going to be versus other Brazilian opposition, so it may be a completely different style. Cajun ready and waiting. He's got some support on the site as well. In fact, 3 players already here, although that's being diminished very quickly. Just automatic left standing in the marketplace. Rotation already looking to come in, but the fast pace of DETONA has caught them. Well, automatic hoping that somebody gives him a way back into this round. Odds are just around the corner as well will make things difficult for him. And the fact is the clock is ticking. You see Golden slowly sneaking his way up short. But there's a crossfire, a nasty one at that, which is just going to slowly pick off these remaining players. A few kills coming back, though. Rush, in fact, gets a double. This may still be possible. Golden will need to retrieve that kit, and he can't even get anywhere near VSM. 3 kills for him in the pistol round, and DETONA off to a flying start.
I'm still confused at KGB. He was holding the window of B halls, right? And like 2 people have jumped past, but he didn't shoot a single shot. I guess he was waiting for someone to just run past instead of jumping to look for something. And then they just rushed out with him taking 1 bullet, and they weren't able to at least trade any sort of damage in there. But I mean, Rush with the kills he got there wants to make it a possibility for Cloud9 to have a chance in that round. Going for the full save here, just a flashbang for Rush. And the rest of the players are going to be sitting in towards the middle, but DETONA going to be using a lot of utility here to make sure they get in safely, make sure they don't lose out on too much in this round. They need to have another clean one, and they have a lot of MAC 10s here.
Yeah, they're looking to just make as much cash as possible. It'll be an interesting scenario because a lot of teams do sort of save at this point just to make sure they can get that early buy. And extra money at least for Tiburcio. I don't know. Now I'm struggling, but I have the excuse of being up for an awful long time. That's my excuse, at least. Yours is just you're so high up that you're losing altitude.
You just got a basic bitch excuse.
Oh, you said it now. We're in trouble.
If we go down, we go down together, don't worry. So DETONA off to a good start, 2-0. But now they're going up against the buy-up here to Cloud9. 3 AUGs, 2 M4s. Not a lot of utility to use, but then again, 4 MAC 10 still on the side of DETONA. I don't know how they're going to close the gap. I mean, I guess with the set smokes, they're going to be able to get the bomb down. They can play for an after-plant situation, but that means people are going to have to sit on site to make this work. They cannot afford to be fighting from range. Meantime, Automatic has pushed up towards middle and has seen no one was there. Smoke's now coming in towards A. And Rush is the only one here to receive, but again, with all the smokes being invested, they're just going to play for the retake.
That's the thing, though. This could really play into the T's hands as they can look to get into aggressive situations, aggressive post-plant positions. Automatic, though, will be able to close one down. Look at the flank that's managed to go through the back of the smoke. There's a couple of players now for this T side. VSM with one of the only rifles, but Turtle has retrieved another. But the problem is that the bomb hasn't gone down.
And Vice is over towards Catwalk as well, so we can see that bomb actually being picked up once that smoke is dissipated. PRT, the last alive, has no chance. And Cloud9 finally take a round here. But the MAC 10s, I mean, it's good. You can get the, like, getting onto the site to get the bomb down, that's a possibility.
The MAC 10s weren't the problem. The MAC 10s weren't the problem. It was the fact that both teams crossed each other in the smoke and nobody stayed to defend the guy planting the bomb. So, like,
I mean, that is
if they defend the bomb and then they take that control around connector, they probably win the round. But because they then have to go back through their own smoke once the CT's already waiting with the bomb on the floor, then they lose the round. So it's just that's the only problem. Otherwise, I think the MAC 10s probably get away with that. Luckily, because they went for such a sort of light buy, they're now going to be able to come back in with the AKs, and they're just trying to brute force this A site once again. Rush with an aggressive peek out, doesn't get anything done, just a bit of damage, and Golden's taken that much in return anyway. Looking like they're going to try and set Automatic up, but already the bomb looking to cross towards the site, planting in that default position. VSM will catch off another, and Vice left with just the MP9. A bit audacious attempt, but it's more an information peek coming out from him. Golden will at least be able to catch off one. They've turned this back into a 3v3 again. A position where DETONA looks safe, and things have swung back.
KGB has a lot of flashes, just throwing them both out. A nade to use as well. Diversio is able to get one, able to get two. KGB's finally able to respond now in a 1-on-2. Spots out the one towards Rep. Knows there's one towards Tetris, but he can't connect onto either player. DETONA will get a third round on the board here. More importantly, saving their chance to take a fourth now after winning that, where their economy would have been in shambles. And now Cloud9 are the ones that have to kind of rethink what they're going to do in this round.
They should just eco. This is a round where, like, going into the next, they'll be able to get a decent purchase. So very minimal investments are all they can really afford to do. And 3-1. Yeah, the T's off to a relatively strong start here. And, well, the third map is a little bit more up in the air, but it's not been a good map as of recent for Cloud9. Aggression to the Palace. Net the first kill. Obviously, we've mentioned there's barely anything for Cloud9 in this scenario.
What are you going to really accomplish with the USPs in a P250 here?
Golden just waiting on the edge of the smoke. Don't expect anybody to make a play through this. Lots of map control being taken at the moment. A re-push into the Palace could make things a little bit more interesting, but a much more calm and collected round from DETONA. I think even just from what we've seen earlier on, they look more comfortable on this map than what we saw in the previous. And they're slowly just picking apart these players. And it will be 4-1 in favor of the Brazilians.
I mean, they're definitely shown us why they have the 89% win rate on this map. Played it 18 times. The only dangerous thing is, though, like, what happens when a team bans Mirage from you? Like, say they win this map, say they win the next, and they get into the next series. Like, you're not going to have Mirage as that go-to map that you can have every time. You have to be able to perform on other maps. And, I mean, obviously, this is their best performing map by far.
I think for them, there could be the whole, like, almost underdog scenario where teams doubt them so much that at least in best of 3 series, they will just ban the maps they don't like and go for their own pool rather than vetoing Mirage. It was actually a thing that happened with a lot of Asian teams where you saw, like, Vici managed to pick up wins, and the same actually for Tyloo very early on, where teams just wouldn't ban Mirage, and that was the one map that they were incredibly good at. And they would steal it off, like, some of the top teams. Like, SK lost Mirage to, I think, Tyloo in the past, and Vici managed to take it off VP when VP were good. And, yeah, it happened quite often. And I even remember joking to the coach at the time of SK and just saying, yeah, you should definitely ban Mirage. He didn't, and they lost it. So it was always a thing with Asian teams. I think more so nowadays, like, especially with teams later in the tournament, I don't think they're going to get away with it. And because we're in best of 3s anyway, they would have need to get it in a best of 1 for it to really have that much impact, because they're going to have to play other maps no matter what. And we saw what happened on Dust 2.
Yeah, for the 10 minutes it lasted. Automatic. Gonna be holding a shot just so you can make sure to hit it. Gets the first, but not the second, unfortunately. But KGB will be there. And it looks like the B push will not be successful this time, as Diversio is the last man alive. And well done here by Cloud9. Again, stopping the rot, getting a round back for themselves, and a constant winning and losing here. Still has DETONA at a 1900 loss bonus, but they have the money to buy up again. Turtle even feeling cheeky with a Zeus.
I think that was an accident.
Most likely. Most likely. It looks like we're having a technical pause come in. Not sure exactly for what reason or for who, but either way, DETONA have come up strong. Like, they've definitely looked better here on Mirage than they've looked in the past. At least in Dust 2, in the match just prior.
Got the same amount of rounds.
Just really. So Tired Tom is just like, just go straight for the throat every time.
To be fair, like, it is true. I think that they look way more comfortable on this map. I think it also is not as strong a map for Cloud9. Like, in fact, statistically, Dust 2 is the only map in the last 3 months where they have a positive win ratio. So Mirage is even. And then everything else
Actually,
is
that's fair.
negative. So.
If we're talking about them, DETONA here on Mirage, we have to talk about Cloud9 on Dust 2. Like, that's a good point. Like, that's actually a really good point to mention here between the two teams. And now I guess it comes down to, can they win a map of their opponent's choosing, or are they going to go to a map where Cloud9 has a 29% win rate and DETONA has a 70%? There's definitely a possibility we could go to a third map, and there's definitely a possibility that DETONA can still win this series and advance through further in the bracket. But it all has to start here. With Cloud9 having automatic back on the op. If he has any semblance of play from what he just had on Dust 2, I find it hard to bet against Cloud9 here in Mirage. Automatic was doing serious work.
And the thing is as well, some of the teams that Cloud9 have obviously lost to are far better than the opponents that will have been faced by DETONA. Like there's teams like Na'Vi in there as well. So like you have some top opposition that they've had to face off against. So statistically we can't go like 100% in and say, oh yeah, no, clearly because they're better at this map versus their opposition and they're better at this versus their opposition, that means this will happen. Like there's not going to be any correlation, but all we really know is that at least domestically this is a very good map for DETONA, and for Cloud9 it's sort of it's all right.
Well, what's even more impressive is that it's a good map for them domestically in a region where this map is really good for all the teams.
That's true.
So I think it gives a little bit more weight to the number. I agree with you. Like them playing against local teams versus Cloud9 playing against local teams is different. But for them to be that kind of a win rate against teams that are that good on that map,
oh no,
what a good sign.
He's still alive though, and this has been a problem for them in the past, just not able to close him out, but I think they will now. Hardzow with a quick double into the site, and Vice catching one on the cross could make this possible. Now, Hardzow's low, nice shot from Turtle, but it's going to be onto KGB to try and clutch this out. Bomb planted, he at least kills the man, putting it down, but he'll be quickly traded out. And Cloud9 unable to get any rounds in a row at the moment. Means their economy is constantly being battered. Again, just looking like they're going to have to go for a pistol or two in this round. Not much they can really invest. And if they were to, the risk would be incredible.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Cloud9's going to buy up at all here. Just the two P250s and a Deagle. I mean, DETONA, they've gone B in the pissed round. They won. They went B another round. They lost. But they seem to really stick towards their guns here. You know, go for the set execute towards A, play out the afterplant situation, which they should be able to do successfully here, especially against the save up out of Cloud9. Not really giving them any early frags as well to potentially pick up a weapon or two.
But the other thing as well is the only round that they actually lost on the A site was that Mach 10 round, which if they'd covered the bomb, I think they would have done it.
Okay.
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 Oh my. Automatic has deleted smoke.jpg and we'll be getting some shots through instead. PRT looking to try and turn this round back around, but it is the T's that seem to be cleaning things up. A messy couple of shots though from VSM. Give them an opener. PRT's getting tagged low as well. Maybe just looking to try and back away, but they can't. The bomb's on the floor. We've got to try and retrieve it. It's being spotted by KGB, although it will now be retrieved. Fake planting the bomb. Actually, Automatic has rotated away rather than being in CT. He's now in T. Looks to come in on a long flank that may be unexpected because the T's have pretty much spotted everybody out, and the CT spot is actually quite a valuable one in this scenario. Can he hit the timing on it, though? Tabercio? He expects it, or at least he did for a second. KGB will find one, and Automatic closes it. That is a disgusting round for Cloud9 to win. A Deagle, a P250, and I think a P250 and some Kevlar, and that is it.
So Tom, what were you saying about the only round they lost towards A was the Mach 10 round?
And this.
Man, this is far worse than the Mach 10 round.
Far worse.
I mean, the double kill with the Deagle onto the bomb planter, then the second one.
Through smoke.
Through smoke. Maybe maybe channel like Little John for a second.
I'm actually pulling a very similar face to Vice right now, just like a...
Really? Or is that like a satisfied face? Oh my God, you are. Oh my God. I would love to see production just Photoshop your face over him real quick. Because it would fit perfectly. Especially the hair part too.
Yeah, Bok found out while we were in Sweden that trying to do the face swap apps when someone's wearing glasses it's terrifying. Because it just like tries to put your face further forward, so it's almost like it's imprinted further up on your face. So
just having your face on anything that's not your face would scare me.
Yeah. You can see what I look like with beautifully long hair. If you Photoshop me onto Blair, you know, if someone wants to do that, I don't mind. You can see what my dream of having a ponytail would be. That's not my dream.
At least you own up to it, right? At least you're not one of those guys who does like the comb overs and like lets it grow really long at the top to like cover the bald spots.
Well, like
you know,
Donald Trump.
Huh? I'm not disagreeing. Cloud9 still down 3-5. Mirage, in the meantime, they would take down Turtle, trying to push in through A ramp, and in the meantime, the bomb's trying to push over towards B, where Vice is already trained and ready. Now I look at his picture, I'm thinking of you. This is the worst. You've ruined Vice for me.
Oh. This round could be the springboard, though. That's the thing for Cloud9. The round that they won in the previous gives them some extra money, but this round is where they can just really build up the cash, and that one sort of hero round can be enough that they manage to basically save their half, because the problem they were having is never really building up any finances. And now they're basically giving that because of the mistakes of DETONA. So yeah, this is a lot of money now in their bank accounts, which is something they have not had throughout the half.
Well, a little timeout coming out of DETONA as they realize this half is starting to slip away from them. They still have money to buy with, so it's not too big of a deal. But again, their utility might be a little bit lacking. Again, I kind of like their A executes. Like, I've always been a big fan of like the set execute towards A on Mirage and then playing the after plant, because it's just so different than like other maps where you need to get a couple of early kills to get the bomb down. It reminded me a lot of Vertigo A site when we cast that back in the Pro League after finding out it was in the map pool basically the day before, and then being told, no, there's no way, no one's gonna pick it, and then we had it twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very reminiscent of that, where you play for the afterplants, and I actually kind of like that. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I haven't cast a lot of Mirage as of late, but I feel like we don't see that often anymore. Like the set full 100% execute for an afterplant.
Well, I think a lot of people try and use like the balcony a lot. Like you normally have one sort of Flux player who's around balcony, or maybe you do have a specific retake setup, but it's not something you go for like every time. Like there's not a team that I can think of where they're more focused on retakes, but still definitely a automatic caught out in no man's land, and now they're going to look to try and split back, and we do have that balcony position currently being utilized. Rush needs to hold them on the cross, and he's going to fail miserably. In fact, it seems everyone is except Golden. 2 quick kills, tries to turn the tide, almost manages to dunk one down with a nade. He's now got the rotation of Cajun. The nade in return also comes close. Bomb will be planted though, and this B position actually now becomes really valuable. You can see the rotation going to come back through from the underpass, and it's so late as well that the CTs probably aren't going to be expecting it. As long as his teammates stay alive, this round is over. Like, there should be nothing that Cajun B and Golden can do, as this flank should be perfect. And here we go, just coming in. What? Cajun B turns around at the right time, though. Tabercio is going to be taken out. He actually gets a second, and Golden gets the final frag. It looked like everything was aligning for DETONA, but somehow these two clutch out what I believe was a 2v5.
Thing is, Tabercio did get a kill in from B. So they knew his position. They knew there was a man flanking around, which allowed Cloud9 to push up a little bit quicker towards the A site to force the 2-on-2 instead of a 2-on-3. But I don't know what was going through Cajun B's head, what spidey sense he has going on, because that turnaround for the perfect shot to allow them, then the follow-up as well.
It was the exact moment.
Cajun B is earning his paycheck here. Now 5-5, and that was a round I was expecting DETONA to not have a chance to lose. But again, how did they get to that point to get the bomb down, Tom? They were aggressive, they brushed through middle, they caught them off guard. This aggression seems to be the only thing that DETONA was able to do well on Dust 2 to get an early frag or two, but they weren't able to get rounds off the back of that. And now again, they are struggling to get rounds with this aggression. The set executes towards A is really where they've been able to build up some good steam. But that nade coming through, by the way, has done a ton of damage here. Automatic with AWP just trying to stay alive. Golden hitting everything but the players, it seems. And there might be a chance the bomb could get planted, currently in the hands of VSM.
Yeah, I think they're just going to try and clean up the remaining players while the bomb goes down, and Rush so close to getting a double. Eventually, he'll be left onto PRT, and he can't do anything. Still a bomb plant for DETONA is going to boost their economy at least. And Cloud9 will take themselves the lead. But it's definitely not been easy so far. There's been a few rounds now which, well, 2 to mind, especially the last one and that obviously pistol round. I just don't think Cloud9 should have won. It shouldn't have been possible, but DETONA have given them space, let them back into this, and they are actually going to take another tactical pause. Maybe a time to try something with the AWP. There hasn't been much AWP action for DETONA really in the series.
It doesn't really fit the style the way they've been playing, though.
No, that's true.
Like, the fast, aggressive style, you can't really do much with an AWP there. Unless you're going to look for, like, the initial pick with it, like, towards long A or here towards middle. But then again, Cloud9 hasn't really been challenged. We haven't seen, now that I think about it, really any middle action out of DETONA this entire 11 rounds so far. They rushed it last round once. other than that, I think they've been more about going B halls or towards A.
Yeah, just an execute.
Which is weird, which gives Cloud9 technically so much freedom to play with if they wanted. You don't really see teams at the higher levels give so much free control over towards mid.
They did also split short the first round, I think, or one of the first rounds Cloud9 won, and it was automatic defending short. So, yeah, it's mostly just been if they've been trying to split the site, but they haven't taken much early
Just
control.
talk about it now.
But there we go. They're going to try and challenge into mid. Lots of nades being expended. Automatic makes the jump, so he's going to be able to... Oh, I was going to say avoid any smokes, but they haven't really thrown the normal smoke down, the mid smoke that defends them, but they do manage to catch out Cage and B instead. You're going to see Automatic rotating around just to try and get back into play over on the A site, and he will be able to pick off one at least. I'm not sure how...
Is that through the smoke?
Yeah, I think it must have been.
Well,
Either that or
like
there was a gap. Golden peeks out as well. They're trying to fight this connector, but it seems to be the way that they're actually giving away the frags, and Rush has gone pushing all the way through the Palace, which will at least mean that he can maybe get back round to ramp. That could be possible, and then they'd have pretty good positions for afterplots. In fact, Vice is again going to catch one on the cross. They seem to be letting him get away with far too much from this position, and that little play alone is enough to give the time for Rush to now push into spot. He's going to be ready and waiting. I think VSM is going to be completely unaware, and Automatic, he's burning, and he goes for a default plant. This is the one thing that couldn't really work for Rush, but he's still going to be able to jump up. There will be the bomb going down, but again, it's another Cloud9 round.
I mean, even though a couple of these rounds here for Cloud9 have just been skating by the skin of their teeth, they are still winning the rounds. And they still have the economy to play with. KGB's at 16K, by the way. Just saying. And 7-round CT side, I mean, they're looking like they're going to be able to take this in a 2-0. Like, DETONA at 5, it's not a bad start for them, but again, like, I feel like there's just not much teamwork in some of these situations. They're looking for raw aim battles. Like, pushing up towards connector, looking for the 1v1. I think that was VSM able to win out in that trade. But, like, where's the flashbangs? Where's the smokes to allow things like this to work out? Automatic. I mean, VSM just pushes through the smoke with no flashbang. Golden gets the assist for a second time around. Literally, the first kill in the last round out of Automatic was just like that. I don't know, maybe am I reading into it too much, or do you kind of agree that it doesn't seem like DETONA are like assisting players to get kills? It's just more looking for the 1v1s.
It's either that or trades. Like, a lot of it comes down to trading. Like, they just push somewhere together. I don't know. I'd be interested to see how their CT side will work out, because I don't think you can get away with the aggressive pushes they've been pulling off so much. Again, they're going to have this lower mid control. And they have been very good at getting openers into the connector. That's been one of the weak points for Cloud9, the ability to get there, but then they seem to forget about Vice most times in these scenarios. They boosted a player up into window. Now, this could be an opportunity for Cage and B if they do continue in that direction, which they will. Tabashio seems to be spotting out towards the vent, but he looks away at the wrong time. The timing working perfectly for Cajun.
Slight hole in that smoke too, just how Cajun was able to spot him out. Now with 2 men down, DETONA have to fight up against the full squad out of Cloud9. Might be even a 3rd man down as PRT gets shot from behind, but again, able to open up in the aim battle up against Gold, and now Vice can have extra company out of Hardjow. He does equalize things now at 3 apiece, but Automatic, I find it hard for him to lose this battle if he just looks towards short any time now.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't even really need to be too aggressive here. They don't check the site. They've only got 15 seconds when they start this push, and now they're down to 8. He's got to get this kill straight away, otherwise that should be the round over, and Automatic's not going to miss the shot. That's the thing, like, Automatic didn't even really need to peek there. They played so risky, they ran out of time, and then you see them just try and run onto the site expecting, for some reason, no one to be on B, but yeah, going wrong again. Cloud9 up to 8. The streak of rounds going their way once more. And well,
it's been a very bloody game. Like, look at the kills between both teams. Like, it's relatively equal. It's just I feel like the teamwork out of Cloud9 has been faring a little bit better here. And DETONA have not a lot of utility use. A couple of flashbangs, a couple of smokes here or there. It's like getting angry for a second. But they're gonna push in. No smokes. Finally going to come through with at least 1. Rush gets the first kill. He's going to have his teammate off to the side. Going to be Golden here, playing towards Stair. Rush is going to get 2 before he falls. But again, 2 for 2 exchange. However, the HP out of DETONA is very low.
Oh. Oh, Cajun just looking to clean things up. The last man, 19 HP to try and hold on. It's looking to be a 7th round in a row for Cloud9. Vice peeking in. Turtle manages the first. The second he does damage to, he's at least brought them low, but automatic straight through the box. Will be there to close the round once again. They started a little bit slower this time, unable to string rounds together, but after Cloud9 get the economy, it seems that there's nothing DETONA can do. That is now, what, 7 rounds in a row. And that was all off the back of that one pistol buy, or not even buy, just the pistol round.
Like one Deagle, 2 P250s, and like the random Deagle sprayed through the smoke from CT into sight.
Since then, they haven't lost a round.
Oh, this is rough times here for DETONA fans out there. They are 7 rounds away from being knocked out of the entire Pro League finals, but credit to them. I mean, we can't talk about, obviously, how they're not performing too well here, but they made it to the finals. They made it here today. So that's something you have to give them credit for, and something that they could definitely take home as an experience and obviously take it into Season 10 of the ESL Pro League and hope to be back here next season. What do you have for me, Tom?
Yeah, but I would say even like them getting this far was a surprise. I'm hoping that we'll see more from them on the CT side. I still have that little bit of like hope in the back of my mind. I want to see something from this team that's like truly impressive, because you sort of hear so much about them that they're like this up-and-coming team, like VSM's this up-and-coming player, and I don't think we've been treated just yet. Automatic, though, he has been a joy to watch throughout this series so far. Another kill to his name, just being given shot after shot after shot at this T side. Vice gonna go pushing. Will be caught. VSM now finds another. Cajun just lurking below. Will be able to get one more. He's on 16 kills. And PRT is all that remains. Just hiding by the bench. The clock, at least there's a lot of time on it, but does he know where Cajun is? That's going to be his main problem. Cajun B just waiting, and slowly we see Rush start to pincer in towards the bench. They're just trying to lock him into this spot of the site. Rush been spotted, and Cajun peaks. 10-5. A fantastic streak of rounds again from Cloud9. 8 in a row to close out the half. We'll see if DETONA can pick things back up and do the same on their CT side. We'll be back after a short break.
Second half, our second match, and our second map of today. It's Cloud9 up against DETONA, and Cloud9 sporting a nice 10-5 lead at the end of that first half. Automatic having a fantastic series so far, but the question now comes, can DETONA take us back and take us on over to Train? It's a lot of rounds that stand between them and that point. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined here by Tom Biz. And Tom, if you can be one flavor of ice cream, what would you be?
Ooh, some sort of caramel. I like caramel. Here we go.
Nice flashbang actually allows Tiburcio to go for some shots. The problem is he doesn't hit a single one. And Rush, again, with the assistance of Golden, who's been doing some serious work with these flashbangs to allow his teammates to get these kills, is allowing them just to get all over the site. And that's just dirty. Rush with a triple.
Yeah, starting to step up at the moment. Maybe knowing that you need to put in some performances since things seem to be changing with the team. But looking to do the pistol on his own. It will be Turtle at least to trade one back, but getting into this is not going to be easy. Automatic, okay. Hardzal manages to trade back 3 kills all at once, leaves it into the 1v1. Has retrieved the kit as well, spots out Golden. He knows he's there, just gonna try and stick it, bait him into the peak, but Golden just looking to try and play down the clock. And even hiding, but he finds the shot. Has he got time for the diffuser? It's gonna be ridiculously close, but I think he might just have it as well. What a clutch from Hardzal from DETONA Gaming. 4 kills to win them that round.
Well, I asked the question on Dust 2, who's going to be the one to step up for the team? And I guess it was him. Well done to keep their hopes alive here. 10-6 now. And Cloud9 have to be kicking themselves. To expect something like that to happen, a moment of glory, a moment of brilliance out of Hardzal to get 4 frags. But can they continue this pace is going to be the question I'm going to continue to ask them over the course of this half. They're not really able to play as aggressive. Oh my God, that nade coming through. Saw that on the minimap flying in, and saw the health bars just dwindle away. But they're not really able to play as aggressive on the CT side as they were doing previously on the T side. But it has to really bolster their spirits, clutching out that round.
Rush buying up a Catalyst AK, hoping to try and at least do damage in this round. In the meantime, Automatic looks to try and sneak back through, shooting off that Deagle, unable to connect anything. And VSM will be there to put him down. Rush knows there's someone behind this box, unfortunately, as he does. Every single one of his teammates seem to be getting damaged. Vice will at least find one, and that's the thing. Now all that's left is MP9s. They'll pick up that AUG once again, but Rush will have the advantage in every single one of these duels. He can at least drop a couple more. They'll come back in with 4 AKs in the next round and give DETONA a real good run for their money. Vice is going to be dropping, hitting the deck, and the nade will be there to close out KGB. It's only 1 kill in the end, and in fact, that AK will now join the ranks of DETONA and give them an upgrade.
I can still respect the buy-up out of Cloud9. I mean, there was definitely an opportunity for Rush to get a couple of kills, actually, to get in that round. Especially if they're able to take down, I believe it was PRT, and get the bomb down in the B site. So just going to be the 4 AKs, and Rush is going to go for the CZ. In the meantime, we do have the AK, like you said before, on VSM's hands. And 3 MP9 still. So Tiburcio, Turtle, and PRT. 1 towards B, 2 towards middle. Not the ideal locations to be fighting with these weapons. Vice getting naded down, flashbang comes through. Nice smoke to come in to block off the Palace push coming through, but Vice actually be able to sneak around directly towards stairs. Able to take down the first. VSM though, respawns with 1, respawns with a 2nd and a 3rd here. Automatic eventually able to shut him down, but now it's down to a 2-on-2.
Yeah, the bomb's in his hands. He kind of needs some help from KGB. Knows that there's a man around the edge, manages to dodge the bullets from Hard as well. Knows he's hiding in the corner, even going to do a little bit of extra damage. And actually, now that it's smoked off, he's going to go for that safe plant. Has his teammate watching the angle. KGB finally joins the action. Now, they've only got flashbangs left and a single smoke for the CTs to play with. They do have a kit, and now Automatic's going to start a rotation back. But he's actually going to go towards Palace, the less expected. Normally, you do see this connector control taken, but it's mainly because they already have that. KGB is ready and waiting. And it will still be a fairly open position. Tiburcio able to at least retrieve an AK-47, an upgrade
Oh.
A big one at that, but Automatic's not going to get anything. It's left on to Cajun. He knows they're baiting out the defuse. Oh, he sprays down one, but it won't be enough, or it shouldn't. The bomb's ticking fast, but they do have the kit to get it again.
Oh my God, again. 2 rounds like this, where DETONA were able to win just with a split second left.
I reckon they buy again.
If Automatic, if he fired that shot and just killed the first guy, he waited a little bit too long.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things again, though, where they...
Hindsight.
Yeah, they want to try and get both kills, or he wants to try and get both kills. Well, it is a buy of sorts. I thought they'd just go for the AKs just because of the amount of damage they've been doing to the economy of DETONA, but they're going to play it safe. They've still got the lead. There's something reputable about that. It will mean that they come on with a good buy in the next round. Could even get an AWP if they wanted to. Now, look at all the smokes just being thrown over the top, trying to isolate some of these players. The MAC-10 running through it. It seemed like he just let his teammate die. Tiburcio hiding back. He better get something done now after that. In fact, he's going to start getting spammed. He gets removed as well with absolutely nothing. I'm not sure if he just missed the player run past him.
No, flashbang. He was blind. Oh. Caught him off. Somehow it actually caught his angle, which prevented that from happening. The problem is the bomb now planted here for DETONA. 3-on-3. VSM again gets a spray down on towards 2 players now. Hardjow as well responds down to 1v1. Golden up against Hardjow. Op versus Tech9.
Ooh.
He gets the tag and he gets the finisher as well. Well, they didn't buy the AKs, but they won the round nonetheless here, Tom. 11-8 here for Cloud9.
Oh yeah, and the reason I thought they were going to buy the AKs in the first place is because the money wasn't great for DETONA, so now they've managed to win that round without them. They get the added bonus of all the extra cash they already had saved, and their opponent has to go for what is a fairly rubbish force buy. It's 1 AWP, FAMAS, a DEAG, a 5.7, and a CZ, at least a range of different weapons, but definitely not what you want to come into this round with. They're going to have Tiburcio looking to try and be that clutch player. It's an aggressive push. The FAMAS already hits the deck, but it's 2 for 1 in the favor of Cloud9. We're going to need to see this man go big, and instead he's dropped to the floor within seconds. VSM already down, so he can't look to retrieve that, and as Hardzow does, he will also meet his doom. PRT left alone, 1 versus 4. Well, now the financial problems start to begin, because this again, DETONA get themselves into a good position.
Do it again.
But when they finally do, they lose to what is a pistol round coming out from Cloud9, exactly the same as the first half.
I mean, let's be fair though. Like that flashbang, if Tiburcio didn't get blinded up in sight like that, Cajun B never would have got that first kill, never would have picked up the AK, never would have forced Tiburcio to hide inside the smoke. Like I feel like just that. You don't agree?
Well, no, I agree with the fact, but it was still thrown, so it's sort of null and void. They still lost the round. It makes no difference how.
Yeah.
Like, they lost the round to pistols.
I just feel like, yeah. Yeah.
Like, whether or not a flashbang was thrown, it's still a round that they should not be losing, and ultimately, it's both halves where the same thing has happened. The one in the last half was way worse, I'll give you that. Like, there was a lot less invested by Cloud9, and it was more of just an eco that they lost. But if that is both times going to be the thing that affects your half drastically, then you're doing something wrong, whether or not it was a great flashbang or not. It's still things that you need to change. And well, here we go. A stack site. Can they now win one of their own? Not looking likely, although they have done at least a little bit of damage. Vice is coming in to claim those eco frags, pad those stats. He even wants it so bad, he was willing to kill his teammate. It didn't come to that, luckily. It will be 13-8. Now the CTs get themselves a purchase, but even still, it is not a particularly good one. We may not even be able to see a kit unless Hard decides not to buy, well, an AUG or a rifle or whatever it was. But no, there are no kits, barely any utility, just a smoke per player and a singular flashbang. That's going to have to be a god-tier flash. It's going to be another tough round, even though they have the weaponry this time.
Well, Hardjow in the meantime is able to get over towards short and play around the smoke that was thrown out of the T side of Cloud9. A lot of flashes being thrown in towards the B side here out of them, which actually has pulled the attention of Hardjow in this direction, allowing potentially some players out of Cloud9 to get out towards middle. But in the meantime, Golden takes down Turtle in underpass. Harjo not allowed to play the angle he wanted to, especially losing the underpass player. And what a shot, just walking out. Takes the head right off of Harjo, and Automatic as well. I am honestly like super impressed with Automatic's play so far. Like his consistency with the op, and even the scout on Dust 2 has just been a thing of beauty.
Yeah, still going strong, and one of the main reasons that this has been working out. Cajun on this map as well has been impressive. But the thing is, with Cloud9 at the moment, it's hard to tell what is them playing well and what is their opponent playing badly. Because like we don't know what DETONA really have done versus like European opposition, or even just like higher tier opposition. When they played, as said, a couple of weeks ago in Europe versus teams that are nowhere near like Pro League, they lost. The only team they managed to convincingly win was, I think, a Polish team called Avez, and I would not blame you for not knowing who they are.
No, I know them. They're the 7th best team in Poland.
I thought for a second you were telling the truth, and
no,
you got me. You got me.
I mean, to be fair, maybe they were jet lag for that tournament, or maybe like how often do they get to play against European teams?
Well, never really.
Exactly. So maybe taking some time to get used to the gameplay and stuff like that. Like I don't want to be too harsh on them, because like if this is one of their first like international experiences,
that's for sure.
Like cross-continental experiences,
like,
then there's a lot to learn.
I would say from here, then yeah. But like I think for that, like I am almost certain they went into that event knowing they should win it. And the fact that they didn't, even just based off individual skill, sort of worried me going into this. Now, I think that on Mirage, they've at least shown a few things like individually, but I think that if they're going to face off against like higher tier teams, they're definitely going to need to work on some backup strategies if things don't go well, and maybe a little bit more synergy. Dual Berettas, didn't expect to see those.
What is your Dual Berettas called?
They have a load of dossier stickers on them, and then they're called Dose Your Own Medicine.
That's what I'm casting with, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're a commentator out there looking for a job, just make sure to head over to twitter.com/jkaplan and send me your reel. Maybe we can hook you up with a potential gig in the future. Just kidding, Tom. Don't leave me. You're my main squeeze. Cajun B, though, taking down Tiburcio. And Turtle quickly responding onto Automatic, but doesn't seem to repel Cloud9 as they want to continue to push in towards this position. Rush, in the meantime, is able to take down PRT. That was over towards Staircase. And ESM almost looking for a knife there, it seemed, as KGB just sneaks his way through the smoke. And now it's all on Turtle. Wow, Tom. Let's be, okay, how many times have you done that, okay?
I'm not a professional player. Let's be real. I've done that plenty of times, but I suck, and that's why I'm standing here and I'm not playing in the server. So I'm allowed to have a little bit of a giggle when it happens to someone better than me.
But now, it's do or die time. DETONA lose this, they're out of the entire tournament, and Cloud9 will advance further on. They have thrown everything, even the kitchen sink, into this one. They have double op set up for the first time. And Turtle able to get some luck here. Maybe Automatic getting a little bit too aggressive. We did see Automatic go for a shot from there before. And now VSM's going to have some company in middle. The smoke's going to be thrown in to allow them to get out. Cajun B, oof. We expect Karjao to already be pushed up towards short. Oh my god, a nade, which is like a homing beacon. It's like,
T's looking for a way back into this round. They managed to gather up middle control. It's going to be Rush looking to play into the Palace. He's been fairly effective from there so far. 20 kills to his name, close to 100 ADR. Need to do a bit more. Normally, you might see an AWP homed in, but this is actually very passive from the CT side. They've decided to play outside of the window room behind the murder hole. And it's going to be smoked off. The utility from the T is starting to expend, and while Turtle going to be caught, a great Molotov to force them into the face of Vice. VSM maybe looking to play through, and actually it's going to be the AWPs that manage to connect the shots. Cajun now left alone. If he can drop an AWP, at least maybe he can make things a bit more costly for them, but it isn't going to happen. 15-9, a bounce back of sorts, but how far can DETONA go?
Problem is, it's not like they're going to bankrupt Cloud9 anytime soon. Cajun B with 14K, Rush with about 9, and Vice with close to 9 as well. So they're going to consistently have to be able to pull off these rounds here to have a chance against the full bot up Cloud9. Automatic again, I'm assuming he's not going to get caught out this time trying to go for the peek from ramp in towards the A site. Not be as cheeky this time. And PRT looking to get out a window. He's actually going to challenge out for this one. He has the AK in hand. Flashbangs have come through. But Golden's going to be here, and Golden looking for the shot. He's not going to be able to connect. Vice will be there to avenge him, and Automatic takes down VSM. Hardjow, little did he know, if he just kept shooting, just kept that left click held down, he would have been able to get himself another kill, but luckily Turtle will be there. Shutting down KJ being connector, and Rush, again, just being this nuisance in towards A, whether it's Palace or in the middle of the site. They do now have the man advantage.
And they're waiting and watching for the play to come out from Taversio. They do actually hit the shot. And more Automatic wants to close this now, and he will. Cloud9, they eliminate DETONA from the tournament. It's the Brazilians coming into this with high hopes, but really unable to get anything going versus a team who, well, we've spoken about the fact that they might be making changes soon. We'll see. They've already managed to bounce back at least a little bit in the lower bracket, but I think it's only going to get more difficult from here.